Good morning, how you doing? Just down by this little riverbed, waking up this morning, just have a little bit of a walk. Got myself a couple of different friends here. There's one, he's just sniffing about. But also, I don't know if you can see from here, I'll see if I can get a bit closer. But there's all these little fish just sort of swimming around in this pond, if you can see them. Really nice way to wake up this morning. Sun's out, wind's a little bit fresh, but it's nice. I slept well. The wind was really coming in last night and it would have chilled me, but fortunately I was in that hut. So I stayed warm all night. I had a really good sleep. Good fish. Run, run, run! I'm not going to hurt him. Anyway, I'm going to head back up to my hut, which is up there, and just pack up, and then we're going to go to this cave today, which I've been told is it's the biggest water holding cave in Iran, and maybe one of the biggest in the world. So I'm going to check it out. Let's go have a look. So here I am again, straight away into a sweet shop, and I'm essentially just getting two of everything. So I'm just going to get 2 cookies of different things, and maybe I'll get a couple of different cakes and cupcakes and stuff, but I'm definitely a glutton for punishment. I love my sweet stuff now, and I'm totally addicted. Anyway, I got to get off the video so I can sort of direct him a bit so he doesn't just grab everything. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. So here I am now, getting some food, or some bread, and this is how it's made. So it's all flatbread here, so I'm going to grab a couple of pieces and sit down and make myself some breakfast. See you in the park. Okay, so here I am in the park, got myself some bread. Here's what it looks like. So, I find it really rude to videotape people without asking, but you can't really catch a natural sort of thing happening like the way they make bread unless you just do it. So those videos might just be a little bit short and a little bit snappy, but anyway, just to show you the idea of how they do stuff here in Iran. Again, I've got my peanut butter, which, you know, I'm right down the end of it, and I've got my carrot rose jam, which is fucking amazing. But this bread, it's just sort of, if you don't eat it straight away, it goes quite, like in the middle it's soft, but on the edge it's crunchy. Because if you don't eat it straight away, or buy it in bulk, so they all keep each other like soft and moist, they go stale like really fast. So I'm just going to eat as quick as I can. Anyway, I'm in the town. There's water just over here, so I'm going to collect some water. I've got all the food I need, and a big old box of sweets over here. So I've got everything I need to ride for a while, and I've still got tons of fruit that everyone's been giving me on the side of the road. So the next place we're going to be is at the cave. So I'll see you there. Okay, so maybe I won't be going straight to the cave. A mechanic came over and he spoke a little bit of English, so I said, oh, hang on a minute, I actually need to get something fixed. Here he is. So essentially, inside of here, I need to file it back so I can fit in this new sealed cartridge unit. Once this fits in, I will never have another crank problem. But I need to get in here and fix it. But after pulling it apart, I've realised my last bearing casing is completely destroyed and smashed, and I don't have any to replace it, so I need to get this fixed now, otherwise it's not going to work. Let's see how we go. So essentially I've pulled apart my crankset now, and that bearing casing is smashed to a million pieces. I do not have a replacement part. I only have the sealed cartridge. Excuse me. I only have the sealed cartridge to fix it now. So essentially, if I don't fix it this way, I'm sort of fucked. I'm pushing my bike. I'll have to get a new bearing from somewhere or something like that. Hopefully, in this tiny little village, there's a fucking bike shop, which is highly unlikely. Yeah. So at the minute, I'm just waiting for a mechanic to come back. All I need really is a metal file, and I'm sure he's got one here. But I think he's gone looking for a fucking boring drill piece, which is probably the most elaborate and best way to do it, but just, again, it's elaborate. You can just give me a metal file, I could fucking file the thing down. It'd probably take me an hour of scrubbing at it, you know, carefully, but eventually I'll get it done. Yeah, I sort of I tried to explain what I needed from the guy, but there was no real way of explaining without taking my bike apart. And as soon as I took my bike apart, the bearing casing fell apart. It was all held together inside the bike, even though it was all smashed up, because it was all intact and together. But as soon as I opened it up, I knew it was going to fall apart. So I've got myself in this mess, and now I've got to get myself out. Fuck. Adventure! Fucking bike. Alright, so here I am riding. I got my seal cartridge fitted. It was exactly as I thought it was. The inside of the actual frame was imperfect and needed to be filed back. He did not have the right tool to do so. But as I said, he needed to get like one part that was quite elaborate. He went down to a shop and bought one for me. Still didn't even charge me. I mean, I did all the work on the bike, but he still went out and bought the parts. So I felt like I should pay him for that at least. But as it is in Iran, they just do not accept money. Nobody wants to take money off a tourist here. Anyway, so the bike is riding again. It's riding really well, and it's really super duper smooth. And as a sealed cartridge unit, it means I will not have any more problems with my crankset again, which is really nice to know. Anyway, that's it. So let's ride off to the cave now. We're going to go to, I can't remember what it's called, Karate, I don't know. We'll be there in about half an hour though. Let's go have a look. So I've arrived at Katale khor, the big cave, and essentially I've gotten here and the guys just like, look, we're just about to have lunch. Can you come back in an hour? I'm like, yeah, no worries. I used the toilet just up here just before, and I noticed that they're all they're very much clean, and they have a hose in them with warm water. So that means I got no problem waiting an hour, because I'll go have a shower and shave my head and do stuff like that. So I'll find something to do. And then essentially what it means is when I go in and I do this tour, I'm going to be the only person. It's going to be me, probably the tour guide, and the cave, and that's it. So yeah, I'm not bothered by that at all. So here's the showers, and I'm gonna have a wash, which I haven't had in a couple of days, and I'm pretty happy about anyway. So cool. See you around. Okay, so after sitting inside and having lunch and sitting around drinking teas and stuff like that for ages, now I'm finally in the cave. I am literally the only person here. I was supposed to be a whole heap of other tourists coming apparently, but they just didn't show up. So here we are. I'll let you see what it looks like when I get a bit further in. The lights have just been turned on, so let's go check it out. Okay, so now we're in the major sort of cavern, I think, and there's just sort of stalactites all over the place. If you can get that to focus. Pretty amazing in here. There's these giant open chambers and covered in Katale khor cave, and it's covered in these crystallized rocks just all over the place, and stalactites and stalagmites. Someone's yelling out. I don't know what that's about, but while we're waiting, I'll just show you around a little bit. But this place is pretty cool. There's just one giant cavern. It's super beautiful in here. The wind or the air is like, I'm breathing it, but it doesn't feel as rich as it normally does when you're up on the surface. I guess the air down here is a little bit stagnant, but yeah, it's super cool. Super duper cool. Anyway, I'll wait for the tour guide to catch up. I can hear him talking to somebody, so I think someone's ran along the back and started to catch up. But anyway, I'm thinking there's supposed to be another bigger chamber with a body of water in it. That's what the assumption I was under. We'll see. So I've just seen that there's some other amazing natural formations in this cave as well. Check out this. I mean, whoa! Tiles and plastic tables just formed naturally. I've just been talking to the guide a little bit in really bad translated languages, but it turns out this is apparently it's a UNESCO site, and apparently it's the world's biggest cave that you can visit, sort of thing. So I don't think we've walked a kilometre yet, but apparently it's 2 kilometres long. Some other tourists have started to join, but they're at the entrance, and I think they're just coming now. But yeah, I asked if there's a water cavern down the end, and he said yes. So I think we're going to see some more. It's getting pretty late in the day, though. after this, I think I'm just going to have to find somewhere to camp straight away. Probably just camp somewhere in the area. But yeah, I'm having a pretty good time actually. Just sort of looking around. Anyway, I'll show you the water cavern. I'm running on battery, so. Okay, so the other tourists have joined us now, and we're getting a bit deeper into the cavern, and it's a lot more crystallized now. These are all calcium stalactites and stuff like that, and then over here we have what they're calling the, what's it called? The engagement tablecloth, so it's like a wedding table, you know? Just different ways that people's imaginations are coming up for crystal rocks. I mean, I look at it and just look at them as rock formations and appreciate that, rather than trying to think of them into something else that's more amazing. This cave is amazing on its own to need to change words and you know, make it something else. Anyway, let's go deeper. Okay, come to a gated fence now, and there's not really any other way that we can go. I think it's come to a bit of an anticlimactic finish. I was expecting this beautiful water cavern or something like that. Even when I was telling people I was coming in, they're like, "Oh my god, can you go swimming there?" That's how much I was sort of imagining the way that I described it to people about whether or not there'd be water at the end of it, but there's not. That's it. I think that's the end of the tour. Still pretty cool. Still super cool in here. Anyway, I think we turn back now. Back in the same cavern we were in before with the natural tiles and plastic chairs. But the one thing I do want to note is the stalactites and stalagmites here have been carbon dated back to 20 million years ago. And the cavern itself is the world's largest unsupported cavern, carbon dated 30 million years ago, which makes it pretty old. Pretty incredible cave, to be honest, but apparently where we stopped before, it goes 13 more kilometres into the earth, but you're not allowed to go. Would be really interesting to see what it's like down there, but apparently just for the general public, you're just not allowed to go. Fair enough. That's it. Now it's nearly 5:30, okay. So that means I'm literally going to be leaving this place after waiting so long for these other tourists. In the dark. It's going to be fucking night time, and I don't know where I am or where I'm going, but I do know that it's fucking farmland and flat everywhere, and there's no houses and there's no trees. There's no way I can have a fire or anything like that. So if I got in and got out before, without having to sit around and wait for so long, then I probably wouldn't be able to find something. But now I'm sort of stuck with the job of finding somewhere to stay. I might hit them up here. I might see if they let me stay in the communal house or something like that. Anyway, see you outside. Hey, so I ended up staying at the big cave place. I'm actually sleeping inside. They let me sleep in there, but a couple of guys came over, and we've been having chats and stuff like that. And then the cops came later, just to check what was going on or whatever. I don't know, just because they were in the area. It's a small village. Essentially, one of the guys had an argument with him, and with the copper and all that. Everything was fine. It's just had a big political rant. But now he's come back inside with his friend, and they're like, yeah, you can go to sleep if you want. And then they're sitting there with a light on and just arguing. I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to go to sleep with that anyway. That's the bad note. But the good note was that before the cops came, we actually sat down, all of us, and had a conversation. The way that we did it was using Google Translate. And essentially they would send me texts off their phone in Persian, and I would translate it into my phone. And then we just had a really long conversation. It was really, really nice. Normally when people are asking me questions over and over and over, it's usually the same questions. But this time I, gave them the ability to actually converse with me using messaging. That was really, really good. So yeah, the one thing that was really noticeable was the difference in the cultures and stuff like that. And normally I'm always looking for a real insight into somebody else's culture because that's what I'm doing. I'm traveling. But this time they got a real insight into mine. And it was good. It was interesting, and it was a good way to spill the beans on being an atheist and coming from a split family and things like this, and they just do not have that or get that, you know what I mean? And I guess that's a piece out that I want to leave it here with, is that a lot of people sort of take the piss out of Muslims or, you know, people from this sort of faith or culture. But holy shit, you know, some of their values are really, really amazing, you know, like they're all talking about how much family is important and how much they're there for each other, and yeah, it was really nice to see that side of the culture and not just what the bad shit that you see on the TV. So, you know what, if we could take something from being a Muslim in Iran, is that, you know, being nice to your siblings and your loved ones is pretty important. Peace out.